Hello dear soulmates and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make this beautiful reverse tulip or cone sleeve. If this is what you would like to learn, then kindly stay to the end of this video. This project, I'll be using this beautiful Ankara print. I have about like half yard here, so I'll be using this, and I'll be using this doll face brother satin to line it. So I actually want the color to actually pop, which is why I'm going for this color of satin. Of course, I'll be using my interfacing, which is the gum stay. Now, please note, you can actually use your color stay or your peplum stay. Now, this gum stay is actually the thick one, so it would actually serve the purpose I want it to do. So that, guys, let's get straight into business. So I'm going to pick up my Ankara now, and I'll fold it into two because we'll be using the 180-degree flame. So I'm just going to turn it to the wrong side now. So the arm I'm working with is 16 inches, which I'm going to divide by 3.14 because I want a 180-degree flare. So of course now 16 divided by 3.14 is going to give me approximately 5 inches, which I'm going to go ahead now. Please note that I've actually folded my fabric into two. So from this edge now, I'm going to mark out my 5 inches. I'll go ahead, mark out my 5 inches all round like this, 5 inches, 5 inches. So I'll just connect all my lines together like this. And then after now, I'll input in the length of my flare. Now, whether you can work with whatever length you want. So yeah, I have 12 inches, which I'm going to mark round 12 inches. So I'm going to mark my 12 inches round like this, 12 inches and 12 inches round. So I'll just go ahead and connect this here. So I have my 180-degree flare, which is also known as the half cycle. So I'm just going to cutting out this pattern now. Please note that I've already included the allowance in this pattern. So this is what I have. Now, before I proceed to cutting my lining fabric, I'm going to come in from this part where we are going to stitch up. Yeah, this is the part that's going to fall under the armhole, directly under the armhole. Now, we actually want this. We don't want this part longer than the front. So we are going to go up by 2 inches like this, and then we'll connect it back to our main length. So, of course, I'm going to go ahead and just trim off this 2 inches here. So this actually prevents the armhole, that's the one under the armhole, from being too long. So I have this now, and then I'll just bring in my lining piece, and I'm going to cut out the lining piece too, like this. So I'm just cutting out my lining piece. Please note, don't ignore the color I'm using, color of lining I'm using. This is just for a tutorial purpose, so you can actually see and learn. So this is it now. I've placed my fabric on my lining, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut this down. I'm so excited to get into the sewing part. Don't mind this. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out now. And yeah. So this is it now. Now the next thing left for me is to cut out my interfacing, which is my gum stay. So I'm going to bring this into the picture, and I'll go ahead and cut this out. Now this sleeve is actually a very, very beautiful one. I love it, and I have about like 3 that I've made for myself alone because I just love this sleeve. Don't mind me. So I'm going to go ahead and fold my interfacing like this. It's a thick gum stay, so I'm having a bit of a tricky time here. So I'll just go ahead, and please note my interfacing is going to be on my lining, not the main fabric. My fabric to my gum stay because it was proving so difficult. So I just had to like do that to save me the stress and the time. So I'm just going ahead to cutting this out now, and I'll still endeavor to trim off a bit so that my allowance doesn't, sorry, my gum stay doesn't go into my allowance. Remember that we'll be turning this. So this is it now. So I'm just going ahead now to cutting this. So I'm going to proceed and I'll trim off 1/2 inch from this part here, which is going to be the allowance on my fabric, or my lining rather. Remember, we're adding this to the lining. So I'm trimming off 1/2 inch here like this from this part, and of course I'll trim off 1/2 inch here because I actually don't want it to get into my allowance. So having cut this out now, I'm going to go ahead and proceed to my ironing table, and I'm going to iron my gum stay to the lining like this. So can you see, I'm going to iron it to it like this, and then I'll proceed to my sewing machine and stitch this up, and then I'll come back and show you the next thing to do. So guys, I've actually gone ahead and ironed my interfacing to my lining. Remember I said I was going to be adding the interfacing to the lining, not the main fabric. So I've also pinned it down now, and I'll take it to my sewing machine and sew it down on 1/2 inch. When I'm done, I'm also going to go ahead and sew this down on 1/2 inch, turn it, iron it, and then bring it to the table for you to see what it looks like. I know you can wait, guys. I can. Okay, so I'm back from my sewing machine, and I've actually sewn this part down. Now I actually went ahead to notch it to release the tension here, and I also ironed it down so you can see it's looking all nice and all. Now I actually had to come back to show you how to finish this up now because I actually want it to be seamless. I don't want my joining to be showing, so I'm just going to go ahead and place this like this. Can you see? I'm placing this part right side, fabric to fabric, lining to lining. I want it more of like an inseam finishing. So I'm just going to match up the seam allowance at the end there, and then match up the main fabric like this. I'm just pinning it down to secure it. So of course now I'll match up my lining like this. So now that I've actually secured with a pin, I'm going to go ahead and sew down on 1/2 inch. After sewing it now, I would notch it, open it up, iron it, and then come back to show you what it looks like. Our sleeve is almost done. Yeah, 50%, guys. So I'm back from my sewing machine. I've sewn it down. I've turned it. Can you see? So this is what the armhole area, the part that's going to the armhole, this is what it looks like. I can see it's seamless and it's so nice. You can see the inside, it's so neat, and this is the outside. This is so nice. So at this point now, you go ahead and fix it to your armhole on your bodice, whatever style you are making. But because I don't have a bodice now, I'll just proceed to the mannequin and show you how to style the sleeve. So first you need to notch the midpoint here. So this is the part going to the shoulder, so you don't get it twisted. So guys, let's go to the mannequin and let's finish this project. Turn ahead and pin this down to my mannequin. So the next thing you will do is you come to this upper part, that this part that is aligning to the shoulder, and then you bend it, you fold it into half, and you fold it, or you bend it towards the shoulder like this, towards the shoulder line, not the shoulder of the client, towards the shoulder of the basic bodice, of the bodice of the dress. Can you see? And then you go ahead and you pin it down like this, so you can see. So you go ahead, after you pin it down, you go ahead and you tag this part down. You also tag this part down, and at the end you have your sleeve. Your sleeve is ready. So guys, I hope you actually learned something new from this tutorial. If you enjoyed this tutorial, kindly give us a thumbs up, and please don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Tiffany's Apparel. So I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye.